Good day. Today we are going to be learning how to avoid plagiarism. I am Obasinya SO, BSc, MSc and PhD in view. So let's get started. So these are the contents of what we are going to be looking at. So first thing, to avoid plagiarism, you will need to understand the background or the context of the materials that we are using. Then we need to learn how to paraphrase. We need to learn how to summarize, how to quote, how to manage citations, the citables and the non-citables, and how to use plagiarism checker. So the first thing to do to avoid plagiarism is to understand the background or context. You need to ask yourself the question, what is or are the authors trying to say, and in what context? So these are the key instructions you need to know towards understanding the context. You need to read introduction and or abstracts, as it is a background to understand what the paper is all about. You need to understand what the author is trying to say relative to the study background. Then you need to restate, summarize the idea in your own words, or you paraphrase correctly, and cite authors after summarizing or paraphrasing. So how do you paraphrase? Here are some examples. So this is an excerpt from a journal article. So you can see it. So we have the excerpt. We have sustainable development goals cannot be achieved without contributions of multinational enterprises. So how do you paraphrase this? So there are so many ways. Here are examples. Input of multinational enterprises is necessary towards attainment of sustainable development goals. Then despite that you paraphrase it, you still need to add to cite the author or the document or the article where you find that. It's important to understand what you are really citing is the meaning, the statement, the facts, not really the word for word. So we can see another example of how we can cite that excerpt. In order to achieve sustainable development goals, there is a need for multinational enterprises contribution. Attaining the sustainable development goal requires the contribution of the multinational enterprises. So you can now see. So these are examples of the way to paraphrase. Summarizing. So summarizing has to do with reading and understanding maybe a paragraph or a whole text, and you try to put it down in your own words, the way you understand, according to your understanding. Let's look at an excerpt from the same journal article. So we have sustainable development goals cannot be achieved without the contribution of multinational enterprises. However, extant international business research hardly covers the private sector's role in achieving international policy goals. This article conceptualizes the SDG as a goal-based institution. Building on institutional theory, it develops propositions that help explain MNA's engagement with SDG. Exploratory survey results from 81 European and North American Financial Times Global 500 companies indicate that MNAs engage more in SDG targets that are actionable within their operation than those outside of it, and more with SDG targets that avoid harm than those that do good. Differences in SDG engagement based on MNA's home and host country and their industrial sector are also explored. We draw policy conclusion for a more proactive involvement of MNAs in sustainable development, and we define avenues for future international business research, in particular cross-sector partnership, deserve further attention. Let's look at the typical summary of that excerpt. That's a paragraph. Against the background of positive of information on private sector enterprises' role in achieving SDG in international business research literature, Zanten Van Tuda 2018 contributes to the literature by conceptualizing SDG as goal-based institution. The author leveraged on institutional theory and exploratory survey to show MNE's interaction with the SDG. They found that the MNE's engagement with the SDG are more profound when they, as the SDG, resonate more with the enterprise operation than otherwise. The author therefore advocates for more proactive involvement of MNEs in SDGs. So this is a typical summary of the above excerpts. So you take a good look at it and understand the concept behind the summary, which is reading and understanding and writing the meaning your own word. Another thing is quote. You use quote to indicate what idea taken word for word from another paper or source, including your own published paper. It's important to ensure that you reference or you cite your own published papers, because to avoid the problem of self-plagiarism. Key instructions: use quote sparingly. Quote only words or phrase, clause, sentences that are likely to lose meaning or lose emphasis when put down in summary or paraphrase form. Don't just quote anything. Then ensure that the quote is as it is. This means that you lift it word for word. Don't change anything and put it in quotes, inverted commas. Examples: using the same an extract, using the same excerpt, so you can actually quote the first sentence there. Sustainable development cannot be achieved without contribution of multinational enterprises. So, but remember that when you quote, you need to supply the page number of that quote, especially in a upper citation referencing style. Then, number 5, you need to manage citation. There are so many software you can use to manage your citation: RefWorks, Zotero, Mendeley, EasyLive, EndNote. There are many. So you can leverage on the software to accurately manage your citation and references. So key instructions to follow doing this: you understand the manual way of citing sources. This is important because sometimes the software may not be accurate. Software metadata, as in the reference information, may not be accurate. Download and learn bibliography management software. Use bibliography management software to ensure accuracy and reduce stress. Double check to ensure that the software cites correctly, and fix issues where there is error. So that is why it is important to understand how to do it manually. So the software will help you to fast track it, to make it easier to do. So you need to, with the knowledge, you'll be able to find error and fix them. The citable. Yeah, citation is good, but not all information should be cited. So the citable refers to what needs to be cited and what doesn't need citation. So key instruction: you cite all ideas or words used from other sources. You cite published material that you author or co-author to avoid plagiarism. Do not cite primary data that you collected yourself, data analysis or derivative thereof. Do not cite common knowledge or fact. Where there is doubt, however, you cite. Examples of a citable idea or fact: by increasing pay by 1%, employee performance can be increased by 2.78%. That is a fact that you need to cite it. Human weight has been found to have significant relationship with height. That is also the fact. Leaking sweets during seminars positively affects participants' absorption rate. Really? So you need to cite it. The ideas that may not be citable: for instance, Muhammadu Buhari is the current president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is a general knowledge, so you need to cite it. Nigeria is a corrupt country. Well, within Nigeria you may not need to cite it, but elsewhere you may need. Fungi can grow on decayed food substance. That's also its general knowledge. didn't know citation. Then number 6, use plagiarism checker. In spite of what we have done, there is the possibility of unintended plagiarism. So that is why you need plagiarism checker. So plagiarism checker compares your paper with billions of documents and write-ups online to detect textual and compositional plagiarism. Key instruction for students: use plagiarism checker to detect similarities with online materials. When you find any where the plagiarism is detected, rewrite or completely remove the aspects. In case of content removal, when you choose to remove, ensure that it does not affect the overall logical sequence of the work in any way. For instructor, check for plagiarism manually based on your previous understanding of students' writing. Use plagiarism checker software to detect similarities with online materials. Where the plagiarism is unintended, ask students to rewrite in their own words. Where previous work is glaringly copied, refer to institutional policy in dealing with the issue. Thank you for listening.